Alright, I guess it's better late than never to do this review, but this was the second premiere of RuPaul's Drag Race, and we saw the first 7 queens last week, and we got to meet the ones I was really excited to meet in this episode. Okay, I've got my notes this time on Evernote, and we'll see how this goes. Alright, the first girl to walk in to the workroom of the second group was Bianca Del Rio. Bianca Del Rio. What can I say about Bianca Del Rio? To be 37 years old, Bianca is hot out of drag. I mean, I like her drag style. It's a bit, kind of reminds me of a cross between Manila Luzon and Pandora Box. So I really, really like it. But I swear, when I was watching this episode, there were some pretty good one-liners. Like, the editors did a really good job with this episode. I mean, it kept me laughing from beginning to end. It was very entertaining. Much, much better than the first episode. Not to say anything bad about the first 7, but the second 7 was really impressive. Actually, I thought that Courtney Act was going to be my favorite, because going into the season, she was my favorite. And I mean, she's one of my favorites to win. I really, really like her, but she was much more subdued than I expected. There were some big personalities in the second group. Bianca Del Rio, Magnolia. When Bianca made that comment that she thought that Magnolia was a swordfish, I was eating at the time my chicken and waffles chips, and I was drinking Orangeade Arizona tea. I started choking, and I literally missed the entire next 20 minutes because I was choking on chips, and I thought I was going to die. So, Bianca Del Rio nearly killed me this episode. I went back, I actually had to end up going back and watching the rest of the episode online because I don't have a DVR here. So I had to go back and actually watch it online, and it was even funnier the second time around. Magnolia was, I mean, there really wasn't anything really bad with her drag. I could kind of see it. With the contoured nose, they really read her for that, and her attitude was just awful. I think halfway through the runway, when they first started talking to the contestants on stage, I think at that point, even if she had knocked it out of the ballpark with the lip sync, Rue probably already had decided that it was over for Magnolia. So, unfortunately, we won't get to see any more of these swordfish this season. I don't really remember what I had said about Magnolia in my cast review video. I expected her to go pretty early on. I do remember that part, but I don't remember what I had said about her. Queen is Magnolia Crawford. Now, Trinity K. Benet was the second one into the workroom of this group. Trinity Kardashian Benet. One of the ones that I originally had said would be on the show back in June of last year. That light is blinding me, by the way. I don't know. I don't even know why the flash is on, because I've got plenty of light around me. Okay, got a big blue spot there. What am I reading? Okay, I think that they're playing off of her shyness, and this kind of makes me sad, the way they edited this. When she first came into the workroom, and she was supposedly standing there, she had talked to Bianca, and she just kind of like stood there and was like, oh, kind of taking it all in. You're like, ooh, this is nice. They made it seem, of course, it set up a really good one-liner from Bianca. Of course, there were lots of great one-liners from Bianca. But I think that Trinity, she reminds me a lot of LaShawn Beyond. Now, LaShawn Beyond, in my opinion, was a little bit more creative with her outfits, but that's not to say anything about Trinity, because I really like Trinity, even though Trinity was more of one of the quieter queens. Kind of reminds me of Tyra in a way too, and you can tell that she's very shy, and there's a cute awkwardness about her. Because in the workroom, when RuPaul was there in the main challenge, and she was talking to her about the challenge, it was very hard for Trinity to keep smiling. Like, she would smile, and then, just kind of suck her lips over her teeth, and she really didn't want to maintain eye contact. But, I mean, I think I'm going to like her. And I think she should go at least through mid-season. Jocelyn Fox. Oh, God. Jocelyn. Jocelyn was one of the ones that originally, in my cast review video, I had no clue who she was, and I really was not that impressed with her. She was one of my favorites this episode because she's very funny. She's kind of ditzy and funny. But that laugh, it's hard to even imitate it. It's kind of like a clown laugh. Like, you would think that laugh would be coming out of Bianca Del Rio rather than Jocelyn. And ditzy, she makes a comment about she was a black horse in this contest when she meant dark horse. And I mean, I think Jocelyn will do very well, even though she threw everything together in that first ensemble on stage. It was like Jiggly Caliente in her Sputnik outfit. Of course, Jiggly's Sputnik outfit did not work at all. Jocelyn, I can see it. It worked. But it was too much. It really was too much. Then Milk comes in. Out of drag, Milk is amazing. In drag, that's I don't know. She had that toilet paper hanging off of her shoe when she first came into the workroom, and it was just... I guess she was trying to go for the bull rider look. Spanish conquistador. The matador look. But it just, I don't know, it didn't work. There's something off about it. Though she does remind me a lot of Sharon and Alaska. And I like that. I know there's some people out there that don't like that. But I really did like it, and she made two risky decisions. First of all, by wearing pants on the runway, and then wearing a beard. I mean, but she pulled the look off. It looked great, but just don't kind of understand the beard. But she really pushed the limits. I don't even think Alaska would push the limits like that on the runway. I don't think Sharon Needles might do it. But that was very ballsy, and it worked, because she ended up getting rave reviews over her look, which was surprising to me and to the other queens. I swear to God, I don't see anything but blue because of that stupid light, and I don't know what's on. Magnolia. We're going to go back to Magnolia. Out of drag, Magnolia is hot. Definitely one of Seattle's sexiest drag queens. Out of drag. In drag, probably not. I mean, I couldn't see it. And, I'm going to give her a chance, though. I'm going to look up her performances and everything in Seattle online on YouTube, see what I can find, because I'm sure there's more than what we saw. And watching Untucked, I can kind of understand her point of view. But she just got very defensive, and I did like the fact that she just threw it right back in Santino's face, though, because she did something that nearly every single person that's been on that show wants to do at some time or another. Oh, Santino. And I also did not know that Courtney Act was on Australian Idol. And that's going to be interesting seeing the dynamic between Courtney and Adore. So, and, I mean, it just goes to show that there's an American Idol theme running through the season. Now, Courtney Act, when she did her runway, though, I wasn't impressed. And the fact that she was near the bottom surprised me. So I'm not sure if she will win this season. I was certain of it before the season. But like Michelle Visage said, I expected more. And then Darian Lake, the fan favorite big girl for this season. Hilarious, love Darian Lake, but ooh. The runway look. The runway look was awful. I think it was probably one of the worst ever. Well, besides Jiggly's Sputnik outfit. And maybe Elisa Summers' Apocalypse outfit. That first week of that season. But I mean, it definitely was not working. And if it was anybody else that she was up against in that final lip sync, Darian would have gone home. But luckily she was up against Magnolia, and Magnolia she shot herself in the foot. Anyway, let's see. Rolodex of Hate we've already covered. Jocelyn, blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to go through and critique the whole episode one by one, every single move that they made, because there was a lot of content in this episode. But I think I pretty much covered it. I was actually surprised also that Courtney could not sew. Courtney cannot sew. That's going to be a huge, huge problem. Now, I have said, and I said it in my last video, that I don't see what the big deal is. And I really do believe that eventually you'll be able to just 3D print outfits. So I don't think that that's really the future. Sewing machines are 1970s technology. But it is very surprising that Courtney cannot sew. And given that Ru tries to develop challenges to where you have to sew because she wants you to sew, that could really, really, really hurt Courtney. But so far, after the first 2 episodes, my number 1 favorite is Bianca Del Rio. I live for Bianca Del Rio, and I really, 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 really do believe Bianca Del Rio will end up at least in the top 3. Still hoping that Courtney Act will end up in the top 3. And I'm actually kind of starting to think Milk might be the dark horse candidate this season. If Milk continues to make challenges like that, pushing the envelope, she could go quite far. The sad part is, I don't even remember any of the performances from the first episode. That's the one bad thing about splitting the premiere up into 2 episodes, because I don't remember anything about the first one. I'm going to have to go back and revisit that, because I don't have a clue what went on. And that says something about the first group of queens. Because there was a lot of bigger personalities in the second premiere. we'll see how it goes.